I'm just so much more capable than I think I am. And I know
Yes.
that. So I'm like, I just need to try. The worst that happens is I go, oh, actually, I can't run today. And then I just start walking. It's fine. I wanted to push myself though. And I'm glad I did because I proved to myself I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Now I feel good. And I feel like because I did that, it's more momentum into getting back into things, being like, okay.
That's the overarching theme for you is that's your
Mhm.
mantra. I am more capable than I think I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I just have to prove it to myself.
Yeah, you have proof up and down on every wall.
Mhm. And I had just have more confidence in myself because even though my body is not the ideal way I would want it to look, this is my body after I'm treating it well,
Yeah.
eating well, moving. So, what is there to be ashamed of? This is the way I look, and I'm doing all of the things I need to be doing. And this is the result of that right now. So, there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like it's just that shifted mentality. I could have the same exact body, but I could be like eating poorly and not treating myself right and like, negative self talk and all those things. And I would look a completely different way in the mirror than I do now, knowing that I'm doing what I need to do to take care of myself. Therefore, I feel healthy and beautiful. I am much happier shopping for things now. Even though I pretty much look the same, I just feel more confident in my body and I'm not ashamed of it. I still want to lose weight, but I feel like that'll just come in time from proper habits. Like, really don't feel the need to stress about it. I was definitely struggling with any sort of confidence that I could even do it. I felt very low at that point. I knew I had gained so much weight because I had just been eating emotionally. I'd been drinking a lot. I was just using things to cope with a lot of my issues. And yes, I was in therapy and that was definitely helpful, but I knew that I needed to focus on my nutrition. And I knew that that would be the other key piece that
Mhm,
would help me get to a better place.
mhm.
And that's why I reached out to you because I just felt like I couldn't do it on my own. And I also wanted someone to be able to talk to, hold me accountable and be like, okay, what are our goals? And then knowing that like I had to meet with you in a week or 2 weeks. And that kind of gave me the motivation to stick to it. After we'd been doing that for a while, just building these habits, then it became a little bit more natural. But I feel like without that guidance, I just was like struggling and I had almost no confidence that I could do it. I just remember feeling very low at that point. I was very confused because I had done so many different diets. I felt like all foods were bad essentially because so many times it was like, okay, foods that are high in fat are bad, but then now carbs are bad. Okay, so basically all foods bad unless it's like water or broccoli. It was just
Yeah,
very confusing. I was like, I don't know what to eat. And I think I wanted reassurance that what I was doing was correct
yeah.
scientifically. Is what I'm doing right? Is this
Mhm.
okay? Because I just didn't have the confidence. And I was like, okay, somebody with an actual like ground who like knows what they're talking about to just reassure me that like what I'm eating is okay and good, like
Yeah.
that will give me confidence to be able to do this long term on my own without feeling nervous.
Mhm.
I do very well when I'm tracking everything meticulously. And then once I stop doing that, it's like, okay, it's over. That's done. We're moving on now. But that's not how I wanted this to go. I
Right.
wanted to continue this beyond. So a big part of that was actually just the confidence. I was worried that my emotions would take over and I would just go back to my old emotional eating habits, which like, yeah, that's happened.
Mhm.
That's for sure
Part of the
happened.
growth process.
Yeah, but it's not a permanent spiral. It
Yep.
would just happen, and I'd go, "All right, that was upsetting.
Mhm.
I don't like that I did that, but let's move on." And I've found that once that's happened a couple times and I have the proof that like, okay, that happened and then I moved on and everything was okay. Next time that happens, it's not scary. I'm like, okay, well, that's happened in the past. You were fine, you moved on, and we can just continue with the healthy habits that we've built and it's going to be fine. So that's been a big part of it, just knowing that I can do it and getting back into cooking. And that tracking does help because I can visually see what
Yeah.
my plate looks like. And I know now when I'm cooking and serving things, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. That's a
Mhm.
good portion. I don't need to eat all of it if I don't want to. I can have more if I want to, but I don't feel worried about meticulous
Yeah.
counting every grain of rice because that definitely used to be a problem. I would need to know everything. And I felt like if I didn't know exactly like how much protein I got in the day,
Mhm.
I would worry about it. Now I'm in a place where as long as I'm getting a general amount in, I know it's fine. I feel fine. Like it's
Mhm.
good.
You're so much more in tune with your body, and you can
Mhm.
recognize when you're satisfied, when you feel like
Yes.
something's missing from your
Yeah.
meal, and you can respond accordingly, which is so powerful.
Yeah, definitely more in tune with what I need now. And my body knows, like I was saying from the past week when I was eating poorly or overindulging, like I really felt that.
Yeah.
And I know why I felt that way. And I know I feel good when I'm, fueling my body the way it wants to be fueled. And it's very motivating. I don't have that fear or that guilt as much as I did in the past. And I also don't let those times spiral me into some sort of, I can hone myself back into my routine pretty easily. That's been good.
Yeah, like you said, it's recognizing what you're doing differently than you were in the past. It doesn't mean that it's going to just be completely ideal yet,
Yeah.
but you're continuing to implement the things that make you feel good. You're doing things differently than you were before and just making choices based on your needs more often and having the confidence to do that.
Yeah. And it's definitely doesn't happen as often
Yeah.
either.
How would you say that at this point your nutrition, health, mindset is now?
It's so much better than it was. I definitely feel the healthiest I've ever
Yeah.
been. Really, I feel the healthiest I've ever been. I feel the strongest I've ever been. And it doesn't feel like work. It
Mm,
just feels so natural, which is the best part of all of this,
yeah.
honestly, because it's always felt like work. It's always felt like a chore.
Mhm.
And now it's just my life. I want to go to the gym. I like cooking healthy meals. I love eating good food that makes me feel good. It just feels effortless. Honestly, I really feel the best I've probably felt in like my entire adult life,
Mm.
which is awesome.
Yes. And you have the tools, right? You have the tools, you have the skills, you have the confidence, you have the proof
Mhm.
that you can do this moving forward on
Yeah.
your own, which is my goal for everybody.
And I have to remind myself too when things do seem hard or a struggle. What you just said is something I say to myself. I always say, like, you have the tools,
Mhm.
and and another thing I tell myself too is just go back to the basics,
Yep.
do one thing at a time. And that's something I've tried to work on with like my anxiety and depression too, is when things seem overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, this whole house is a mess. Like, I'm never going to get anything done. Like, I'm such a failure. Like, blah, blah, blah. Just do one, just clean the sink.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything. Just do one thing. And I kind of have moved that over here as well when I out of control to, oh my God, like I've been eating so poorly and I drink so much and I haven't like moved in days and like I'm just so gross. Just drink some water and
Mm.
like eat an apple and just slowly start
Yeah.
to just make those better choices. And like before you know it, it's a day later and I feel like a whole entire new person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It replicates in every aspect of our life. That's the beauty of the
Yes.
foundation. So good.
Yes. It's almost not even like a diet program. I feel like the way that you approach things is so holistic.
Mhm.
It's unlike anything else. For anyone considering it, I mean, I would definitely encourage you to go for it because I was there. I was in that
Yeah.
exact position. I felt sad and lost and desperate. And I felt like I knew what I had to do, but I didn't know how to do it. And you have just provided so much guidance. You were so helpful and empathetic that I really appreciated that. I appreciated that the times that I was hard on myself, you reminded me of my wins and how far I've come. That really made me feel like, okay, everything's going to be okay. I felt like safe. I felt accepted.
Mm.
I felt I could do it. You gave me the confidence in myself that I could do it. And I believed it.
Mm.